I've done it. Okay, hello everyone. Right, so we looking at the comments and the posts and everything like that have been coming up today. Most people were wanting to know how to get ready quick. So that is absolutely perfect with the Arbonne products, because we actually have a kit called Ready in 5, which is 5 products that are going to help you get ready in 5 minutes. So I'm going to talk you through that, and I'm going to talk you through a couple of my more favorite extras that I add into that are going to answer a couple of the other questions that came up on the posts today. So in the Ready in 5 kit, you get a CC cream, you get a blush, you get mascara, you get a lip gloss, and you get an eyebrow pencil. And that is your 5 products. You get to choose the shade of your blush and your lip gloss, and obviously your CC cream as well. Now, I personally use something a little bit heavier than the CC cream. I use the Perfecting Liquid Foundation, so that is what I'm going to use tonight. Otherwise, because I've got quite blemished skin, as you can see, and scarred skin, I need something with a little bit more coverage. So I use the Perfecting Liquid Foundation, which is a really nice full coverage foundation, but it actually reflects light so that it doesn't look cakey, and it does stay on all day as well, which is really, really good. So what I wanted to show you with our foundations, they start out looking like this. So you see full bottle there, and then they actually pump up from the bottom, so you're not wasting a drop. So this one I've had since November, and it's still going, like, this is going to last me another couple of months, but I've got a spare one ready to be used. But just to show you that even the technology of the bottles is good, because you're not wasting any product. I hate that when you get a foundation bottle and you've spent loads of money on it, and you're like trying to stick an earbud in there or something to get the rest of the product out. It's annoying. So these, you don't have to do that. They pump up from the bottom, and you don't waste a single drop of your product. So I'm going to use my old one to start with, but the other product that we're going to do before that is the primer. So now this one doesn't come in the Ready in 5, but it is on the giveaway tonight. Sophia is giving away one of our amazing makeup primers. There it is. Look, she's got it right there. And Soph's got a CC cream there as well, so you can see what that looks like. So you get little tubes like that. You either get a SPF version, or you can get one without SPF, and it just depends on what you need, which is going to work well with your skincare. So this is the primer. It's a really silky primer, and for those of you that were asking how to even out your skin tone, this is going to help do that underneath your makeup, because it's going to fill in any pores, and it sort of diminishes, for me, the deep parts of my scars. For other people, your sort of fine lines and things like that, and any uneven skin tone, this is going to even that out. And also, if you use a primer, your makeup's going to last a lot longer all day long. So you can use this under any of the foundations, including the CC cream, and it's going to make that last a lot longer. So there was questions on there asking about how to make your makeup last longer. This is step 1 for that. So with this, you only need just a little pump there, and you can see that it is clear, so it's not going to interfere with the colour of your foundation. So you literally just need to rub it all over and rub it all in like that. Now, I put makeup on my neck too, so make sure you are putting it everywhere so that you've got even coverage of all your product when it comes to your full face. Right, so next is your foundation. So really with these, you only need a tiny little bit. I use about a pump and a half like that, and I use a stiff short brush like this. So you can use a sponge if you prefer, and you can get those little oval shaped sponges that work quite well. I'm old school and I like a brush, so if you're going to use a brush, use something stiff and short, or you can use a flat pad foundation brush. We can talk you through recommendations for your brushes, but this is my foundation brush. And you can literally, if with the CC cream, because it is like a tinted moisturizer, you can actually just rub that in using your fingers as well, and just massage it all into your face the same as you do with your primer. If you're using something a little bit more heavy, you want to use a tool. So I'm just going to, again, you just buff it in all over and you just really work it in. I've got my mirror here, so I'm going to be looking over here. And you just want to spread it everywhere and buff it in. If you work in sort of buffing motions, you are going to see much more even spread of your foundation rather than just painting it on. And it buffs it into any fine lines, and for me, any scars and any uneven areas. You're going to get a much more even coverage if you use a buffing technique. So you're just going round and round and round. You see that? There we go. So with this, the liquid perfecting foundation, you can actually layer it up as well. So if you need a little bit more coverage in a certain area, you can add that just with a tiny, tiny dot more. So I've got a little patch that's flared up down here. You can see that I need a little bit more coverage there. So I'm going to just add a tiny bit more. You can use the concealer as well, but because which you can get separately, but obviously we're talking about the Ready in 5 tonight, so I want to show you the quickest ways of getting ready. So I'm just going to add a tiny little bit more, and then if you want to sort of make it more high coverage, a sort of dabbing motion works to do that, and you can do that with your concealer as well. If you dab in your second layer, that is going to build it up, because this is when you want to create more coverage in a certain area. So I'm just going to go over a few of my worst areas. Sit back a little bit. I need my light on so that I can see what I'm doing, but I think it looks a little bit glary when I'm up close. So I'll sit back at points and show you what I'm doing. So you can see this gives a really quite a good coverage where you don't really need to add too much concealer or anything like that. But we do have a concealer that comes in the ASVP, which is a bigger makeup kit, or you can buy individual products separately to top up your Ready in 5. So there we go, foundation done. Okay, that was quick, right? That was easy. Okay, so how to make your makeup last longer throughout the day. This is the golden product. So this is called Setting Pretty, and it is a loose translucent powder. It's got a tiny bit of iridescence in it, so it sort of reflects the light. And when you use a setting powder, it is going to make your foundation last all day long. Again, it's going to complement the primer, so it's going to again make your skin look much more evenly toned, and it takes away any shine, so that again evens out your skin tone. So with this, you want to take a tiny bit in the lid, right? So you tip a tiny bit into the lid like that, and then you want to take a big fluffy brush like this. And the technique for getting this all over your face, which is what we want to do, we want it everywhere, is you swirl. So you swirl your brush into your lid. All right, so tip it into the lid so you don't waste any product. We swirl, we tap off any excess, and we buff it in. Okay, so we're going to swirl, tap, buff. Remember that. Right, and then we just buff it in. I'm going to turn this down a little bit and see if that helps, and then I can still see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so you can see I just used a tiny bit of that. You don't need a lot, and it's just so quick to buff all over, and it just mattes your face and sets your foundation. All right, so that then is going to last all day. So if you were going to an event where you're going to be photographed, something like this is going to stop that effect where when you take a picture your face looks really white or anything like that. That is sometimes if you've got a product that's got SPF in it. Arbonne products do not do that. It must be something to do with the quality of the SPF compared to other products. So if you've got the CC cream that's got the SPF in, you're still going to be fine. But this just ultimately makes sure that that's not going to happen, so that you look the right color when you have your photograph taken. So there you go, swirl, tap, buff your powder all over. That was also really quick. Okay, so third product, I'm going to show you the bronzer. Now, we did have a few questions asking about how to do highlight and contour. Now, I'm old school. I've been a makeup artist for 17 years. We learned how to contour the old school way. So I don't do it with a painting palette. You don't need that. That kind of effect is really good for stage and where you're far away and people need to be able to see definition in your face under bright lights. For everyday makeup, it is going to look really, really painted on. So if you want to contour and highlight, but in a natural way, you just simply need to use a bronzer and a highlighter, which we can cover for you. Again, not part of the Ready in 5, but just another simple product that you can add in. All right, so the bronzer that we have looks like this, and we've got lots of different tones. I can't see what the colour is on mine because it's rubbed off on the back. I'll let you know later. But again, you just want to swirl a little bit onto a fluffy brush. And to get your contour, you're going to do like a figure of 8 shape on your face, right? So you go around the edge of your brow. You're going to put a little bit more on your temple. You're going to come underneath your cheekbone and you're going to come underneath your jawline. Okay, so you're going figure of 8 that side. And then you're going to do the same the other side. So you're going to come around the brow, a little bit more here, underneath the cheekbone, and then underneath the jawbone. And then we do 2 lines down the neck to slim the neck and give your neck some shape. All right. And you can add a little bit more underneath the chin if you want to lift a bit of your chin up, so that works. But that's all you need. All you need is a bronzer and a highlighter. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to just go to the mirror. So we're going around a little bit more here, under the cheekbone, under the jawline. If you suck your cheeks in, you'll find your cheekbone. See that? Then you go under here. All right, so can you just see how that gives your face shape compared to that side? Yeah, so it slims it down straight away. And then you just want to add a little bit down there and it slims that side of your neck. You see that? So we're going to even all that out as well in a minute. So we do the other side. And when you're following a specific pattern like that, it's quick. So it's just having these tips and techniques to make it quick and give you the right shape and definition really quick. There we go. I think I've put a bit too much on this side. I'm going to just, if you make a mistake, go back over it with your powder brush and it will buff it away. That's better, isn't it? That side was looking a little orange. There we go. Took that away. Is that better? Drop my brush. Okay. There we go. Even. Right. So that's your just shape. Okay, just shape to your face. But you don't need to go mad. You don't need to buy a paint palette. You don't need something that is really waxy to, you know, put up 4 different colored browns on your face to fake. You don't need that. You just need a simple bronzer to give your face some shape. Okay, so if you want a highlighter, I can point you in the direction of that as well. That's a separate product. So, but we're going to carry on going into the Ready in 5. And we're going to use the blush. So there's loads of different colours to try out of this. I don't know how many. So do you know how many colours there are to choose from? I can't hear you. Have you muted yourself?
No, I don't. I'm going to get one of the catalogues and have a little look, because someone's also asked about how many shades of foundation there are. So we will get back to you on that one. So
there's 4 different shades of the CC cream. And basically that is going to fit. So you've got fair, light, medium, dark. So those are going to be the ones that come in the Ready in 5. In the Perfecting Liquid Foundation, there's a really, really wide range. So we're going to have to count the numbers up for that, because and with the mineral powder as well. So one of the team, go and find out for us, please, and come back. Right, so the one that I use is called Dusty Rose. And because I'm fair-skinned, dark hair, I want to go with a pink. So if you want a recommendation for a colour for your blush, drop a comment saying blush please, I will look at your profile picture and give you a recommendation for your blush color. All right, so small brush for your blusher. You don't want to go too big because you need to be controlled with where you're putting this. All right, and you just, again, you just want to swirl it in and just put a tiny bit. Tap off the excess because you don't need loads. You only want a little bit. Just to quickly say, if you were going to highlight, you want to use like a sort of slanted brush like this. Okay, and can you see where the areas of my face are lighter already, where we've shaped with the bronze? This is where you want to highlight, in these gaps. I'm just going to just quickly show you how you would do that. You just go a little bit in here, perhaps a little bit on your eye. All right, and the same the other side, just on the top of your cheekbone. We go a tiny bit on the forehead like that, down the bridge of your nose, tip of your chin. That's it. You don't need loads, all right? And you don't need loads of colours. That's just to say that. Right, so then blush. You want to find the cheek, the apples of your cheeks, okay? So you want to do sort of quite a cheesy grin, and you want to find these bits here, and that is the only place you're putting your blush, all right? So like that. Can you see that? Not loads, just a little bit. Takes 2 seconds, gives you enough. I think it might be the light that makes me look like I put too much on that side. I'll blend it in. Just go back over it with your powder brush and blend it in. Right, so next product in the Ready in 5 is the eyebrow pencil. Now, what is true about me is that I brush my eyebrows more than I brush my hair. And you can do that with this. So this has got, so he's laughing at me, but it's true, I do. I brush my eyebrows more than I brush my hair. So you've got a brush on the end and you've got crayon on the other end. All right, so this goes up and down like that. So you can use, again, you can use all of the product, and this is your eyebrow brush. So always brush your eyebrows first, so you're getting them into place. And we're going to look at tips to get your eyebrow shape. Now, generally, I do have quite a decent eyebrow shape, but this silly idiot shaved off half my own eyebrow, didn't I, the other week? Thought it'd be a really fun idea to try and dermaplane my own face. Should have left it to the professionals when the salons were open, shouldn't I? Because I've ended up with half a bloody eyebrow. So I'm using this a lot more than I normally do at the moment. But it means that I've got shape to show you how to find your shape. Okay, so what you do is you want to take your crayon, you want to go to the side of your nose, and this, can you see, this is where you find your mark here. So you just want to put a little mark there. From the side of your nose is going to give you the start of your eyebrow. So if your pencil is like this angle or this angle, you know your eyebrows, you're not going to have enough, or you're going to have too much. Okay, so you want to keep it straight to the side of your nose, and that's going to give you the starting point for your brow. Now, to get your arch, the top of your arch, you want to tip the pencil, and you want it to touch the edge, the outside edge of your iris. Can you see? Well, if your eyes are straight, the outside edge of your iris gives you the top of your arch. So this side's got an arch, so I'll show you how that works, right? Can you see that? So you're just lining it up on your brow bone with the outside edge of your iris. It works, okay? And then to get the final point, your outside point, you want to go from the side of your nose and line it up to the corner of your eye. Okay, and that's going to give you your bottom point. That's the bit I shaved off. Idiot. Right, so you put that mark in there, all right, and you've got your mark, mark, and your mark. And then to draw them in, you just want to flick, okay? You don't want to draw a line. You want to do flicky brush strokes to kind of fill it in softly. So you don't want it to look like you've drawn a line on your face, all right? So you should be able, you can see that, right? Yeah, there we go. So that kind of motion where you just flick in your hand, follow the natural direction of your own hairs with your pencil strokes so that it looks natural. Because if you start drawing lines in opposite directions to your own hairs, it's going to look really odd. All right, and you just join the dots basically. So you've got your dot there, and you join it up to your dot that you've then put there. There we go. I've got a whole eyebrow now. Magic. Look at that. And then I always brush over them again, right, to sort of blend them back out again. So once you've drawn them in, I'll draw the other one because that looks odd. We will blend them out a little bit. This one's already got its shape, so I just need to fill it out a little bit. But if you need to find your shape, that's how you do it. Your 3 points, okay? Side of your nose, edge of your iris, corner of your eye. Okay, hope that helps. Hang on a minute. Don't know which lid is for which end. There we go. Right, and then you just want to brush them out again. See, this is why I brush them more than I brush my hair, because I brush them twice when I do my makeup. And then when I take my makeup off, I brush them again. I love my eyebrows. Weirdo. Right, there we go. Okay, so then they're just a little bit softer, but we've got a full brow. I like a brow. And then, oh, I've got another really good tip for you. So if you want to do a really quick something for your eyes, but you don't want to make a fuss over it, take your bronzer, take a little fluffy blending brush like this. Again, I can recommend your brushes. Take a tiny little bit of your bronzer on there, all right, and just go in the crease of your eye with your bronzer. I do this pretty much most days because I can't ever be bothered to hunt through and pick colours, and I want to look like I've done something to my eyes. So if you use your bronzer, it matches in with the rest of your face, but it just gives your eyes a bit of depth and shape. And you literally just using a blending brush to get it in that crease, and that's it. But you look like you've done something. It's all right, and it's taken me a second. So if I weren't talking, can you see how I would actually be ready in 5 minutes? Right, the pièce de résistance, my friends. Did you see my video today? This was an experience for me finding this mascara, and I've never looked back. Okay, so this is the ultimate mascara. I absolutely love it. Like I said, I have been in makeup for 17 years and I have never fallen in love with a product like I did the day I found this. You know, I'm always up for trying things and trying new stuff when it comes out. You ain't never getting me to swap from this. Unless they make an ultimate speaks volumes mascara, I'm always going to have this. Okay, so we all know how to put mascara on. If you don't, a good way to do it is to tip your head slightly, look down your nose, keep your eye open, but so that your eyelashes aren't anywhere near your eyebrow. Because if you find that you get product up here a lot, it's just because your face is too straight and your eyes are too open, right? So you want to tip your head a little bit so that your eye is still open, but your lid is flat, and you put it on in that direction. And I mean, I'm going to get it all over my face now I've said that, aren't I? But you shouldn't make too much of a mess of it. So I'm going to completely finish one eye and then show you the difference. And then I'm going to show you what happens when you do a second layer. This still counts as my first layer, by the way. I know I've just dipped it in again, but it still counts as my first layer because I like a bit of mazzy. Here we go. What I love about this one is where it's got this sort of pointed tip, you can get all the tiny hairs in the corners, right in all the corners. It just fans your eye out even more. Like sometimes with the ones with the big fat brushes, you can't get to all those tiny hairs, and then you don't get as full of a lash. Oh, I can't get enough of it. It's so good. I literally can't have anyone in my life don't own this mascara, like not owning this mascara. If you haven't got one, just get one immediately. Look how good it is. I mean, I'm never going to get over it. Simple. It's just amazing. You don't need false lashes. Who needs false lashes when you've got that? Love them. Love it. Right. And then we're just going to quickly do the bottom and I'll show you the difference. Quickly do the other one and then we're done. So that is you ready in 5. I'll show you the lip gloss, but it takes a second to put a lip gloss on, doesn't it? I've made a little bit of mess underneath that one because I looked the wrong way, but there you go. There's one. Amazing, right? Tip your head a little bit. Make sure you don't make a mess. You actually can do this pretty quick and still get like a decent lash, and then your second coat just like fills it out even more and makes them look like false lashes. There you go. That's without a second dip. All right, isn't it? Do the bottom. I just have to do a second layer on there because I knew I was going to do that. Right, get that off in a minute. Best thing when you do that to your face is to let it dry a bit before you try and get it off. Because if you try and get it off when it's soaking wet, it's just going to smudge all over your face. If it's a bit dry, it will just kind of flick off. So I'm going to just let it dry a minute. And then you get your gloss with it as well. When you put a gloss or a lipstick on, what you want to do is clean your lips first. Like that, simple. Get the foundation off your lips, otherwise you're going to lose the colour. And then, job done. And if I weren't chatting so much, I would be ready in 5. Let's see if I can get that off without making too much of a mess. There you go. See, if you just let it dry a little bit and don't try and get it off straight away, you might just need to. There you go. Fixed. Easy. That is my makeup, which I pretty much do every day, even in lockdown, because why not? So ready in 5. Hope you liked it. Hope it was helpful.